So Ned Stark could have asked for a trial of 7 or a trial by combat. That was an option available to him. But the belief is that he didn't need to ask for this because there was a deal worked out. Ned was going to live. He was going to go and join the Night's Watch. That was the agreement between him and the Crown. Varys comes to him and says, just plead guilty. Just take this. Just take one for the team and then we can all move on. And you'll go and you'll live with your brother and your illegitimate son. There are worse fates. And that is the reason why Ned Stark pleads guilty to treasonous behaviour on the steps of Baelor in front of everybody. He's not pleading guilty because he actually did it. He's doing it because he thinks this is the arrangement. If I do this, then my house will be protected. My daughters in the capital will be safe. This is the best option. That's why Ned did what he did. But Joffrey goes rogue. He just throws the rule book out of the window and just decides to behead him right there and then. If you watch the scene on Game of Thrones, Cersei reacts really badly. Like, she is like, no. And Varys comes running in. They know that this is a bad idea, that Joffrey's gone too far. And even if he was to take it back and say, I'm just kidding, it's all right, he can go off to the wall, I was just messing, that wouldn't look good. Like, this is the first time people are seeing their new king. So it wouldn't have looked good. So Joffrey really makes a mess. And he thinks, you know what? To hell with it. Right, off with his head. But everyone else is like, no, this is a bad idea. You didn't need to do this. Tywin Lannister is furious when he finds out because he's like, there was no need. We had an arrangement. Ned Stark would have just taken this on the chin. He would have just gone to the Watch. He would have done it. And then we would have been rid of him and we could have moved on. But now the North are going to rebel. It's crazy to think that one decision by Joffrey in the heat of the moment, this impulsive decision to do this to Ned Stark, it sets off a chain of events. Like, well, it sets off the War of the Five Kings. If this didn't happen, Robb would never need to call the banners. I mean, the Starks would not be happy because Ned's been done dirty, but at least he would be alive. So that's something. The North mentality is we've got to protect ourselves. We've got to think about our own welfare because nobody else will. And we get these harsh winters. It's a tough life. There are worse fates. At least Ned's alive. Everyone would still be mad, but at least he'd be alive. Up until he pled guilty publicly in front of everybody on the steps of Baelor, Ned could have asked for one of these trials. He, as a noble man, was more than eligible, and Joffrey would have felt a lot of pressure to agree to this. But then again, Joffrey is a wild card, so he might have just told Ned, no, I forbid it. You're not getting a trial by combat. You're not getting a trial of 7. No, he might just say off with his head. Tywin is like apoplectic when he hears what Joffrey has been doing in the very beginning of his reign and seeing what he did with Sir Barristan Selmy. He's like, why did he do that? But the Ned Stark thing really pisses Tywin off because if that had not happened, if Joffrey had just stuck to the plan, then everything kind of would have moved on. Ned Stark did not have to die.